And though it may not have felt like it today, spring is right around the corner, and with it, those pesky seasonal allergies. That's why healthcare professionals say now is a good time to start thinking about how to manage those symptoms before pollen levels begin to rise. And as the calendar moves closer to spring, trees and plants will soon begin to bloom, releasing pollen into the air. Health experts say up to 20 to 30% of people experience those seasonal allergies. For many people, that pollen can trigger common allergy symptoms like sneezing, itchy or watery eyes, and nasal congestion.
With the warmer weather comes plants growing back, trees in bloom. So with that comes a lot of pollen. So with tree pollen, that can be a big irritant for allergies. Typically harmless, but sometimes the body can overreact and produce antibodies against these allergens.
Now, experts say starting treatment early can help people manage symptoms once allergy season arrives. Over-the-counter options like antihistamines and nasal sprays can help reduce symptoms for many people. They also recommend simple steps like showering after spending time outside, changing clothes, and using air filters to help keep pollen from building up indoors.